New Horizons Radio.
Buenas, nos encontramos de nuevo en New Horizons Radio. Mi nombre es Vera Tolar y estoy aquí con mis compañeros de 11º grado para hablar sobre el anime, cómo ha influenciado sus vidas y las vidas de otros jóvenes dominicanos. Como primera pregunta, ¿cómo describirían el anime?
Yo soy Ariadna. Pienso que el anime es básicamente animación japonesa.
Yo soy Ignacio. Yo pienso que es un estilo definido de dibujar caricaturas y que se diferencia mucho sobre otros.
I will describe. Well, I'm Carla, and I would say that anime is basically an insight into other cultures.
Yeah.
Specifically Japanese.
Yes.
Okay, I think the question that pops up the most between non-anime watchers is, why do you like anime? ¿Qué lo hace interesante para ustedes?
Personally, I think is the worlds that it creates. They're unique. This is not your everyday story that they tell you. It's something new, refreshing.
I don't think it's that much different from regular storytelling from a book or a movie. It's still storytelling, and I think it can provide a lot of interesting points of view.
And it's also a new way to see a new story. Like, you don't see what you see in anime regularly in normal cartoons.
Yeah, I agree.
Okay, how is anime available to you in the Dominican Republic versus worldwide and other places?
Well, it's everywhere on the internet, honestly. You can find it just searching it up by your name or in specific websites. I believe that mostly people find it in Netflix because it's most commonly found there.
Okay, and talking about the internet, what are the main social media platforms for sharing of anime-related content?
Well, there's plenty of sites to talk about anime. I feel that the three main would be My Anime List, Amino, and Reddit.
I was gonna mention Amino too.
Yeah.
I was gonna say Reddit.
Yeah.
And in anime, what are the most popular titles of all time and among youth today?
Well, I personally believe that there's like three main that people recognize. I'd say Death Note, Attack on Titan, and a newcomer which is Boku no Hero Academia.
Do you find these titles and other anime titles to be relatable to yourself?
Yeah. Mainly because of the characters themselves. If they're well written, carefully thought out, it can be very insightful because they have minds of their own, and they may have the same beliefs you're thinking about. It's just they have to try to say many interesting things about the way they think.
Pero no hay representación de la cultura latina en anime, ¿o sí?
Not directly Latin America. Maybe minor characters in certain anime they may appear, but an entire anime there are not so much because Japan is not that very related to Latin America, I would say.
Exactly, because there's animes that are targeted in Europe or in United States because it's more common there, like their culture, but a country like Dominican Republic isn't that, like, it's not so in Japan's face.
Yeah.
¿Y ustedes creen que los valores que le enseña el anime a las personas, especialmente a los niños y a los jóvenes, son positivos para su crecimiento?
I believe so when it's anime titles that are appropriate for that demographic because titles like that are targeted more for adults maybe not so much because they will have other things that children would not really
Understand or relate to.
What's wrong, Ignacio?
And how can anime be so, like, reach so many people, such a broad spectrum of people, like going over generations and linguistic barriers?
I think it's, even if they don't speak much to characters, it's the art style that it mostly pulls people in or away from it. It's unique. You don't see that every day. Your usual cartoons are drawn in a specific way to attract little children or kids. Well, anime, when it's drawn, it's not really thought, oh, it's gonna be for kids or this. It's drawn, and when you see it, you're like, oh wow, I kind of like this, and you get into it.
Yeah, and also a difference between that is that most cartoons are made in Flash and sometimes in CG, while in anime, a big portion of them are actually hand drawn instead of virtually.
Or like in Ghibli,
Yes.
it's like a painting.
Yeah.
Okay. What do you think is a general idea or stereotype that people hold toward anime and anime viewers?
It's a negative idea, mostly because it's strange and unique. It's something different from the usual, and some people see it as negative and bad, and that's the most general idea of it.
Yeah, in Dominican Republic, maybe like among parents, anime is not something that is widely understood because they have customs, references to Japanese culture that is kind of intangible to them. So it may be come off as strange and stuff like that.
¿Y cómo estas ideas afectan a los jóvenes que ven anime mientras van creciendo, sea en el colegio? ¿Cómo son afectados por estos estereotipos?
Well, some of them can get to the point that they can be bullied, and that's an issue because they're just. It's like if I were judging someone for watching a TV show, a mainstream TV show, it's the same.
Yeah, like, wow, you watch SpongeBob? Are you crazy?
Now, what do you think are some of the actual negative side effects of anime?
Oh, well, sometimes some people take it too far, I believe.
Yeah, they embrace the character and take themselves too seriously with them.
Yeah,
Yeah, there was this one guy that married an anime character.
legit.
Yeah.
Yeah, that is extreme. What other type of product has developed from anime?
Mostly things you see with normal shows, plushies,
Merchandise.
yeah, like plushies, posters, toys,
What kind of
Figurines.
toys? Like games?
yeah, and figurines.
Yeah.
And what is manga, and what are some things that we should know about it?
Well,
Well, manga is the closest way to compare it to is comic books. It's the panels with the images and the text bubbles. It's not that different from anime. Of course, they're not animated, but it may come off as a preference to some people whether to watch it on TV or read it physically, and I think both are really great.
it's like the book to a movie.
Okay.
It comes from there, and that's where it's inspired from.
¿Cómo puede el anime promover ideas culturales y como que unir culturas diferentes? Sea la de Japón al mundo, ¿cómo funciona eso?
Well, anime is mostly viewed everywhere around the world, not mostly Japan. So it engraves those Japanese ideas and culture to other nations, but at the same time they base some of the animes in America and put American ideas in them and culture, and they mix everything and make something new.
That's true. I know a few titles that mainly focus on different countries, excluding Japan. Like, there's an anime that is historical called Versailles Novara or Rose of Versailles, which basically talks about the French Revolution. And there's another one, JoJo Bizarre Adventure, where it talks about Egypt. And it's really interesting.
So people can be educated from anime.
Yeah,
Yeah.
I truly believe so.
And what is the main target audience for anime?
Everyone.
Yeah, there's no, like, if there's a certain demographic, it will usually say it, but not all anime is like a certain age for like certain age
It's
demographic.
pretty much planned for everyone. Everybody can
Yes.
watch it.
Mm-hmm.
And that's what makes it so great.
What do you think about the subculture or the community surrounding anime?
I believe it created something very unique. As you should have with everything, a show creates a small group of people, but anime grabbed people from all around the world and created a small subculture of people who liked anime, and really liked it, and
I think it's like any other hobby or interest. It's not really all that different from the other ones. I think so.
And what mediums does his community use in order to gather and reach out to each other?
Yeah, like I'm sure Kala has said that before.
Yeah, there's this community called Amino where you can join multiple fandoms from it.
And apart from the internet, like, do they have any way to see each other, like, physically?
Yes, there's conventions. There's conventions. There's a few every year. Here, there's a few.
In the Dominican Republic?
Yes.
Do these take place all over the world?
Yeah. Some conventions go like a somewhat of a tour around the world. Like, oh, here we have this convention. It's gonna be in this place, these days. Something like that.
And if anyone is interested in joining one, there's Feria Mundo Anime and Paradise Con.
that are here in the country.
Yeah.
And is merchandise a big part of, like, these conventions and the life of these people that are invested in anime?
Yeah.
In what way?
When you like an anime, you mostly first figure out, oh, does this anime come from a manga? When you figure that out, you buy the manga because you want to read where it came from. And there's like, you can buy shirts inspired by the art, toys, plushes, figurines. There's a lot of variety in the merchandise that anime provides for people who like it.
Yeah, in conventions, it's considered like the easiest way to access those merchandises if you do not buy online. So, and not only that, it's easy to be interactive with the community.
And why do you think anime is so popular right now?
Well, there's a lot to say about that. Well, it just kind of got in light from the internet. Before, it was only through DVDs or on TV live. But with the popularity has gotten, many people have come to know of its existence.
I believe it has become more mainstream thing before it used to be something small and unique. But
Yeah.
now it's more mainstream. It's more out there. More people are watching it, are knowing about it, getting informed through social medias and stuff like that.
And what are some of the main criticisms or something you'd like to see yourself be changed in anime?
Something I'd like to change in anime?
Something you think is negative that you would like to see better in the anime community, in anime media?
Oh, one major problem I have with anime is the cliches, because I'm not really sure where this comes from, but I have seen that things repeat sometimes from other shows, which probably is something not from Japan. That what happens in anime does not happen there. It's very different. But yeah, cliches are not my thing.
So
But-
you change that.
Yeah.
So this happens in any kind of media, right? Or is it much more common in anime?
I feel it's more common
Yeah,
in
it's
there.
more common.
Yeah, and also there's the over sexualization of characters.
Mostly female.
Yes, mostly female.
Yeah, like in One Piece, there are
A very famous anime.
female characters that look the same and they have the same figures. Well, if it's a male character, they're very different. They have their very own personalities
Yeah, and distinctive traits.
So you think apart from the over sexualization, they also don't have an identity because there is no, like, inclusivity of body shapes?
I think it's more something that it's an idea that happens, not in Japan exactly, but they have this image of how women should look and they implement it into the manga. Not always happens, or the anime, but
That's true.
this happens a lot and it's repetitive. Sometimes it's not meant to be like that, but it's taken that way, or sometimes
It happens in Asia, actually. Around Asia, like China, South Korea, Japan has this ideas of beauty that may be unrealistic and push people to the extreme.
And overall, like, in a few words, how has anime affected your youth and the youth of Dominican kids and people?
I personally believe that I know more about culture, not only Japan, but about all the world due to anime.
I learned a lot.
Yeah.
Something I'd like to say about Dominican youth in the 70s and 80s would be shows like Candy Candy, Heidi, Doraemon, Pokemon, Caballeros del Zodiaco, and Dragon Ball. Those are very important, and I believe they have contributed a lot to Latin America.
And I think that what you watch as a kid, it shapes you into the person you are today. So that's it. Like, if you watched anime, it depends, but depending on what you watched, it may shape you to who you are today. So that's something I think.
Mm-hmm.
Okay, so thank you for your time.
Thank you.
I do believe we learned a lot about anime, and it was very amazing to learn about all the effects, be it negative or positive, of it. So thank you.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Yeah.
New Horizons Radio.